What is up, everybody? It is a happy day. Checking. Do I have sound? I don't hear any sound. Can you hear me, anybody on the live? Hold on, everybody. This is why you do a tech check at the very beginning to test. Where did you go? Do I have sound? Michael, I can see you on. Can you hear me? Do you have sound? I don't have sound on my end. Just want to make sure. Let me see. Microphone. Blue Yeti. Not muted. Plugged in. Okay. Michael, if you can hear me, drop me a comment, please, so that I can... Because I can't hear it on my phone. Aaron, what's up, dude? Can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I don't know why it's not coming through on my phone. Dumb phone. So dumb. Cool. So, how's everybody doing? I hope you're having an amazing day because, by Joe, you deserve it. That's so weird that I'm not getting sound on my end, but I will trust that you can hear me because Mike says he can. So today, it's Friday. It's the end of the week. Are you guys excited for, the weekend? Do you guys have any fun plans? I've been sitting here for the good chunk of the day writing and doing all sorts of fun stuff. And had to go run to the high school to pick up Chloe because they got out early because it's homecoming, and it was just all this big thing. But I'm here today, and I will have some stuff I want to talk to you guys about, and I'm super excited. So just to kind of give you the framing for what we're going to talk about. What's up, Russ? Aaron, I know you didn't mess up. Remember, it's a term of endearment for you. When I say you done messed up, Aaron, that's I love you, bro. What's up, Russ? But today I want to talk to you guys. I want to talk about hooks, what they are, why they're important, and how to go about identifying and creating great hooks. Does that sound fair? If you are with us, let us know. Aaron is live. If you're here with us live, love to have you guys on. So we're going to talk about why hooks are important, what they are, and things to be able to do to be able to create some good ones that are effective. Okay? So with that said, let's jump in. Alrighty, so today is Friday and it's the end of a week. I had a little bit of a cold earlier this week, and it was just I was just out of it for a good day. It just and all that kind of stuff because I'm a man and I get the flu, man flu, right? But I get floored when I get colds and flus and stuff like that. I just get wiped out and I have zero energy and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty much useless when I get them. But I'm on the mend. I've just got a little bit of some stuffiness hanging around, but I'm so much better. Thank you for hopping on. Those of you who are watching, if you're new here, I'm Nick Fitzgerald. I am they call me the Friendly Giant, as you can see in the bottom corner here. Friendly Giant Films is my company. But I am a storytelling marketer. I help entrepreneurs and businesses find and tell their own stories and to use their stories and their experiences to sell more of their products and services. And that's what I spend my days doing and obsessing about. I absolutely love it. So thank you for being here. If you are on the live or if you're on the replay, comment below where you're tuning in from and watching from. It's always fun to see where people are, where in the world are the Friendly Giants fans and friends and family. So today I'm going to talk about hooks. and why they are so important, what they are exactly, and how to go about identifying and creating hooks that work for your business, and how you can actually use this in lots of different ways. Russ is tuning in from Tennessee. That's so awesome. Good. I love it. Aaron, who is in Provo, Utah. BYU, which is based out of Provo, is playing Tennessee this weekend, I think. Or is it tonight or tomorrow, I think? They're in your neck of the woods, so we'll have to see who comes out victorious. The Volunteers are going to win. But BYU hopefuls can hope that they can get an SEC victory, right? So first, I want to talk about what the concept of what is a hook. What in the heck is that? Like, some of you study marketing and use these. Some of you have businesses and you use hooks, but you don't realize that that's what it is or that's what it's called, and things like that. But basically, a hook is what it is. It's something that catches, snags, pulls somebody or something that you're trying to catch, and gets it so you can reel them in. Like, you think of fishing. You literally put a hook in the water with some bait on it, and the fish grabs it and swims away, and then you yank it, set the hook, and you bring it in, and you've got dinner, right? That is what you're trying to do with your clients. You want to be able to put your message out there. You put things out there to attract your ideal clients. Some of you don't know who your ideal client is, so you're just putting the bait out there in order to catch any type of client, right? But once you get to a higher level and become a bass fisherman or a swordfish fisherman, or you're looking for pike or salmon, you use specific bait, right? But basically, you're using this to catch and attract your clients so that you can reel them in, and then you got dinner for you and your family, right? So that is basic, like, the super basic definition of what a hook is in marketing. In music, hooks are used all the time. When you listen to pop music, is like where hooks are like all used tons. But if you like, the second a song comes on the radio and it's got that little melody or like that beat, that is the hook, right? It gets you to stay. Usually the hook in a song is delivered in the first like 5 to 10 seconds of the song, right? It's really quick. Something that you just gets you hooked. You're like, ooh, yeah. And then they get into the rest of the song, and then they throw the hook back again to keep you coming back, right? And so movie trailers. Has anybody, okay, out of curiosity, how many of you have seen trailers for movies that get released in the movie theaters? Has anybody seen a movie trailer? If you have, let me know in the comments. Basically, hooks, movie trailers, those are hooks. Those are things to get us excited, where they show really exciting snippets or really cool parts of the movie that like really might not even have anything to do with the story, or might not even be in the final cut of the actual film that goes into the theaters. But it gets us excited and salivating and talking about it and anticipating and buying our tickets, right? So hooks are used all the time in everything. You think of, here's a couple of other like real world examples for those of you who this might be a different concept. But you go to the grocery store. What's all the stuff that they have at eye level for the kids? They have all the kids' cereals and candies, like right where kids can grab them, right? You have those end of the aisle displays with like, something, a stack of cans that are on special or whatever it is, right? They have coupons or mailers that go out that say, hey, we're having this amazing sale. Come over, everything is 75% off or whatever. Or buy one, get one free. Or, those kinds of things. Those are all different types of hooks to get us to come into their world, to spend our money, to, partner with them, whatever it might be. Okay? So if you are in business and an entrepreneur, then you have to be using hooks. Now, like I said, some people are dialed in with the types of hooks that they put out. They know who they're going after, and they cater that message in those hooks to attract those people. So many people I see like don't have that defined, or they don't understand who their ideal client is or who it is they're trying to catch, and they just put out whatever and will catch whatever, and they're happy with that, right? But if you really want to be able to catch the big game, you could catch 500 minnows and small guppy type fish, with a bait or a net and that kind of stuff, and bring in a whole bunch. And those, you'll burn through those. There's not a whole lot, so you have to consume a lot of them in order to fill yourself, right? Or to take care of your needs. But if you carefully place one type of hook, one type of bait in a very specific waters in a very specific area, you could catch a marlin or a giant tuna or something and be able to feed yourself from one client for a long extended period of time. Okay. Now, if I'm curious to know, like, which do you guys have your target market, your ideal clients identified? Have you gone through that? Do you know who your avatar is, as they say in the marketing world? If you do, comment, say, I have an avatar, or just comment #avatar. Or if you don't, say #not yet. Because this is so important in being able to attract the right types of people. Because the worst thing you want is to be fishing for amazing salmon, but then you're catching carp instead, which is a garbage fish or useless to you, right? So that's basically what a hook is and why you want to be using them, okay? Now, like I see so many people throwing out hooks that are just the wrong hooks, or it's just confusing. Like they're going fishing, for shark, but they're throwing cotton candy out into the ocean. You know what I mean? Like you can't catch certain things with certain types of bait, and sometimes the bait that you're putting out isn't even bait. It's just makes no sense. You don't want to be fishing for sharks with cotton candy. There's this cross stitch meme for somebody to create. But like when you are able to, so Russ says he hasn't got his yet. Work on that, dude. I know that you've got lots of things going on and everything, but like when you can identify that, like it makes those transition and the messages that you put together so much more impactful, right? Now, so as business owners, we're trying to get people to come into our world, to buy our products or services, or to follow along with us. And so if you've studied marketing, you know that like you hear guys like Russell Brunson talk about hook, story, offer. You hear Dean Graziosi talk about hook, story, close, right? It's the same concept. People have different names for it. And I talked about, I can't remember if it was on Alive or if this was to my Voxer group, that I was talking about like hook, story, offer. My version of it is like begin with the end in mind, all this kind of stuff, right? But what do I always preach? Begin with the end in mind, right? If you understand your client and who you're trying to attract, who you want to serve, who you want to help, that helps you understand the stories to tell in order to attract them. What types of things and bait, so to speak, will get them closer to you. And then when you understand those stories, then you create the specific hooks to catch their attention. Okay? There's like for this live, in the post that I did on the page saying that this live was scheduled, it was just pretty straightforward. We're talking about hooks and we're going to go through it, right? On my personal profile, I went and I shared it so that people who don't like this page or don't know about it could also see it. And I basically said, if you're not doing this thing, you're a dum-dum, right? Because I want people to be like, what? I'm not doing this. I'm a dum-dum. What is Nick talking about? And then hopefully they come over and they watch. Hook, right? I've been in hook mode for the last couple days. I've been writing email sequences. I've been fleshing out this previously existing email sequence that was only 5 emails, and I'm fleshing it out into a sequence of 15, which is like jam-packed with value and awesomeness. And then I'm writing a chapter that's going in a book with other entrepreneurs. Like Aaron Stewart is one of those authors for that book, which is way cool. And sorry, I was just making sure if I had anybody on. I see there are 4 of you. Thank you. But like I've been starting the chapter with a hook, because these are different entrepreneurs from different backgrounds, and we have different stories. So I'm trying to get my chapter to start off with something that's just like boom and draws in the reader. And I think I have the best hook. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to see what the others have, but I think my hook is gonna be the best out of all of them. How's that for a gauntlet thrown, Aaron, and anybody else who's writing in that book? But then I sent an email out to my list this afternoon, which used another hook in the subject line of the email. If you want people to tune in on your live, if you want people to open the email, if you want people to click the button to go to this page, you have to use hooks, but you have to use them effectively and correctly. So I'm going to share with you the hook. What's up, Brandon? How are you, man? Good to see you, man. It's been a minute. So here's the hook that I used in my email earlier today to my list. And if you're not on the list, why are you not on my email list? Come on, go and check it out. But the subject line in this email was, "I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about you." It wasn't like I woke up in the middle of the night and I had this thought and I was like, maybe I should send this to my email list. No. It was, I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about you. So if you see that in you're checking your emails and you see that and it's from me and you know who I am, you're like, whoa, what? Nick woke up thinking about me, and you open the email. And again, within the email, I hit with the hook again. I was like, hey, I woke up in the middle of the night, sat up in my bed, and I had you on my mind. And this is why. And then I go into the story and share and all that stuff, right? Like I had somebody who read that email today who is in my Facebook Live Secrets course, and she commented in our group and posted about it. And it was just really cool. She recognized it as a hook, but at the same time, the value that I gave after the hook was so great to her, and she loved the content of the email. But like that hook got her to open it right then, as opposed to like, I'll check that later. You know, I know how that goes. I do that all the time, where I just like see something and I'm like just mark it as read so that I don't have the notification on my phone, because that like drives me crazy. But like you come back to it later. It got her to stop in the middle of the day and read through the entire email. And she got some value from it, and she took action, and she gained some insights on her situation, which is super cool. That is what I wanted to happen, right? This email that I sent was all about just talking about the things that I've experienced this year in my business and how it's been a roller coaster of emotion, right? And it was just like talking about how taking action and doing is the only way that you're really going to get anywhere and change your circumstances and things like that. It was just really cool, and it got her, Anne, if she watches this on the replay or hops on, like, thank you for your insights there. But it got her to stop and take inventory of herself and gain some understanding on why she's been putting some certain things off, but that she needs to go and put action in. Russ got that email, and he just said, I opened it too. It was a good hook. And the thing that's great, what you need with the hook also is, I think we're kind of towards the end of this cycle, but there was like the whole clickbait thing where you'd see all these posts like, this little 10-year-old walked up to this old lady, and what happened next had my jaw on the floor, right? Those are all hooks. And then you go and you click on the link, and it's just like this long, boring, terrible story that really has very little to do. Like the little kid like asked for a candy bar or something like that. Like it's, something stupid. Your hooks have to be pertinent to the story and to what you're wanting the audience to do. If you start putting out false hooks and these clickbait type of stuff, you're going to lose trust. Your email list or your subscribers or whatever are going to leave, and you're going to be trying to fish in the Great Salt Lake, which the Great Salt Lake is completely filled with salt and uninhabitable by fish except for brine shrimp. So if you want to fill on brine shrimp, which are teeny, keep doing that, right? And so, that's just an example of one of the hooks that I did recently that worked and was effective, right? And the people that did open it and took the time to read and all that stuff, I didn't sell anything in it, right? I always have the offer at the end. I'm like, if you're ready to take action, but you're not sure where to start here, right? But it wasn't me doing this and then trying to underhandedly be like, now I'll go buy this thing, like you can do that. I'm not saying you do it, but this email was just me providing value and giving, right? And building a rapport with the readers. Okay. So when you want to create a good hook, you have to know the story. If you don't know the story or what you're talking about, it's impossible to create a hook that will work. Like, I'm trying to think of an example that I have seen recently. But like, we're taught hook, story, offer, right? But you have to reverse engineer it. Man, sorry, I got the hiccups. Let me get a drink. Is this making sense first? Let me get a drink first, but let me know if I've lost any of you, if this is making sense. If it is, throw me some hearts and emojis and that kind of stuff. Okay, so we are all taught, hooks, the hook, story, offer framework if you've studied marketing. However, you have to follow my method to be able to get those figured out and done effectively. Okay, and my method is begin with the end in mind. What is it that you want your audience to feel, think, and do as the result of their interaction with you? So if you are like doing a seminar or a webinar and you're wanting people to buy this product or this service, then you have to structure and develop things to lead them to that decision themselves, right? If I want you to buy Facebook Live Secrets, my amazing course, then I need to tell certain stories and talk about specific things in order to get you to that decision on your and get you to want to buy it, right? But I don't just like, in order to get you to there, you have to be intentional in the message. But you can't be intentional in your message if you don't know where you're trying to lead people, right? So that is a thing. Begin with the end in mind. Determine what it is you want them to feel, think, and do as a result of hearing your thing, right? And then from there, you're able to see the stories and the experiences that you can share from your own life, from the lives of your clients or the people that you work with, or things that you see in society that will lead your audience to that. Now, from there, once you have the stories developed, then you develop the hook. What is the thing to get people's attention, to get them to sit down and listen to this, to then go and buy at the end, or take whatever the action is that you decide, okay? That is the process. And shameless plug, do Facebook Live Secrets. You won't regret it. I'm switching it over. Facebook Live Secrets, right? Do Facebook Live Secrets. You won't regret it. That's awesome. Thanks for the kind words, Lance. He's been in there and doing some awesome stuff with it. So if you want to master hook, story, offer, that framework, you have to follow my method of beginning with the end in mind, then crafting the story to take people to that, and then based on the stories, create the hooks. Okay? And again, we've been talking about hooks. Like those could be copy, those could be subject lines, those could be videos, whatever it is. One of the things that I taught just recently in my Facebook Live Secrets group was my whole system for my Facebook Lives, the structure of how I run them and everything. And it was super cool. But I gave them a couple of examples of what would be hooks. And Lance, I've seen him implement this. Like, you know how I always start my lives like going like this, just being a crazy Muppet. There are times when I've, had a prop where I would sit here for the first couple minutes and like hold this up. Because if somebody's on my timeline or on Facebook dinking around and they see me holding a stack of money, this is just $1 bill, or they see something interesting, that's going to stop the scroll and they're going to watch. Hook, right? The caption that goes along with it. If I've got a whole bunch of a stack of ones, or like I have $100 all spread out, or I have a ton of cash, and I say, like how you're like Lance, he did this in one of his headlines using a hook. Something about like, how wasting tons of money. Like if like ways that you are literally flushing your money down your toilet, and I've got like a thumbnail of the video with me holding a bunch of money, people are going to stop and watch that, right? That kind of stuff. Those are all examples of hooks. But once you have the outcome determined, what you want them to feel, think, and do, and then you go and find the stories and the examples and all the things that support and guide and take your audience on that journey, because that's all what it's all about. Then you can identify really specific and super awesome hooks. Okay? That's how you go about using hooks in your business in an effective way, instead of just like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some real world examples of bad hooks that really, were bad. Like I don't remember this lady's name, so I won't be able to say her name. I wouldn't anyway, because but she had a funnel. This was like last year. She had a funnel, and it was all about helping women be healthy, but have more energy and things like that. But the hook and the headlines and stuff on her funnel, and to get people there, was like, woman doctor talks about keys to be able to, not be tired and have energy and be healthy. Like, that's just not engaging, right? It's just not. You have to find something that piques the interest, gets them to stop the scroll if they're just sitting there on the toilet scrolling on Facebook, you got to get there and grab their attention really quick. That'll get them to stay, right? So instead of like female doctor shares secret of this or that, like you can pivot that to be like, okay, I want them to join this program or get this free book. And it's like, if there are 5, or let's say there are 7 chapters in the book, like 7 secrets that I learned as a medical professional that will help, that help women do this and this, like make it results based, right? To have that fulfillment and energy, or whatever it is. When you lead it that way, instead of saying like, hey, I've got this book and it's really good and it's for free, like you take the content and you take the results, what you want them to think, feel, and do, and the things that they want, and you package it together, right? Lance says he's been experimenting with, where's my mouse? There it is. He's been experimenting with hooks, and they work. It's absolutely true. And it's always like, sometimes you knock it out of the park, like I did with my email earlier today, with that hook in the subject line. Crushed it. There are times I crushed it, like with my freebie that I give, that's like the lessons that I learned from a millionaire. Lessons that I learned exclusively, that were developed for me, not in a group setting, but for me, with me in mind specifically. That people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for that type of coaching, and I'm giving it to you for free, right? That was a good hook that I put, and it was successful. There are other ones that I put out that are just fall flat on their face. I sent an email out to my list earlier this week saying, hey, I really stink at being consistent on email. That's one area that I've really, really, really been bad at. And so I'm committing to it, right? I have okay response to it, right? What's up, Travis? What is up? Thanks for hopping on, brother. Live with the Friendly Giant. Love it. But, until you master that hook, story, offer framework, you're going to have a hard time. But I'm telling you, you can master that hook, story, offer framework by following my process of begin with the end in mind, craft and put together the stories that lead the audience and take them on the journey to whatever that outcome is, and then you identify the hooks. Don't be like, okay, let's see. If I have I'll just use my buddy Lance as the example, because he and I have talked a bunch, and I understand to a good extent what he's working on. He's a plumber, Aspen Mountain Plumbing. Go and follow their page so you can support him, but also he puts some awesome educational stuff out there. But if he's wanting to attract more, he's wanting to grow his business, attract more clients. He's got a great reputation and stuff already. He's just upping his game, right? And so if he's got that business going on, and he's just thinking of just randomly, okay, what are some hooks? What are some things I can put out there? As a plumber, you have lots of things that you could use as hooks, right? But again, if he's wanting to establish himself as an authority, give value to the people, get people to eventually sign up or to join his continuity, his annual, service contract agreement things, which is a brilliant idea. Those kinds of things. Then he can find those experiences and the things to share that will get people primed for those offers. And then, if you started every Facebook Live or every post with pardon the toilet humor, literally as a plumber, just crap I always see, or, just stuff like that. Don't flush your money down the drain. If he had those same 2 or 3 hooks, they would get old. He would still catch some things, but you make adjustments and stuff. Okay? So, hook, story, offer. But the Friendly Giant's telling you, begin with the end in mind, that offer. What do you want them to feel, think, and do as a result of this interaction with you? Then you craft the message that guides them on the journey to that decision. And then based on the stories and the stuff that leads them on the journey, you put the hooks. You create the hooks. It's just you don't create, with movies. I'm a film nerd. They do not, sorry, I'm getting overexposed. The sun came out. The clouds burned off. But you do not release a trailer for a movie and then film it. And then film the rest of it. Right? They've filmed the whole thing. They have all of the footage, and then they create the trailer, the hook, to get you to want to watch it by pulling all the best parts out. That's exactly what you need to do in your marketing and in your messaging. Okay? So that's my message today. Does that make sense? Did that make sense? Did it? I'm gonna switch my camera for 1 second. I'm gonna it'll be okay. If that makes sense, comment and let me know, or blow me up with some hearts and emojis so that I know that you understand. If I lost you, I can go back to it. Lance, totally awesome. So, what's the formula for hook, story, close, or hook, story, offer? What's the Friendly Giant method? Begin with the end in mind. Craft the story intentionally. Take them on a journey. And then the hooks. If you're stuck with it, I'm becoming really, really good. I love stories and all those kinds of things. I'm able to connect people's offers and their stories super well. If you're stuck on that part and want some help with hooks, let's book a call and let's get a session done and bust out as many of them as we possibly can. If you're wanting to practice them in this format, go to Facebook Live Secrets and join us. You can get in right now. It's open. I'm just not openly promoting it and pushing it at the moment because I'm working on a couple of other things. but you can get in and start consuming the content. And Lance and Russ and Aaron and any of the other 21 people who are in it will be able to tell you that it's legit and it's awesome. That will help you develop the stories and the content and things to talk about. And that leads people to, your offers and stuff like that, so you can make your money with your offers. But again, you have to be using hooks. You have to be intentional with them. Even if you're casting, like you're trying to catch as many fish as you can, small guppies, be intentional with where you're casting the hooks and what hooks you're putting out there. Okay? If you want to catch the big game, then you really start to have some fun. But wherever you need help in, I'm here to serve and help you, okay? And I just want you to succeed. Just like I woke up literally in the middle of the night last night thinking about you guys. That there was somebody who needed to hear this message. I posted it in a coaching group that I'm a part of. I did a post on Instagram about it, but I felt, again, I woke up in the middle of the night and sat up in bed because I felt that somebody needed to hear this message. It was true. It's not me making it up. I literally woke up and was like, I need to send this message out because somebody needs to hear it. And guess what? I've already got some feedback from some of the people who read it. I was like, I needed to hear that today. Mission accomplished. Okay? But sending an email to somebody or to your list being, I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about you, they're going to click that most of the time. Okay? So, with that said, what hooks are you putting out there? Feel free to share them in the comments and all that kind of stuff. Just know that you're just so close to being able to have the audience, the influence, the impact, and the sales that you want. You just need to work on that story, and the hooks come. And just one more plug, Lance said he's learned a ton by doing the Facebook Live Secrets course. And he's putting it to work and seeing even more results and having awesome things happen. So jump in while you can. With that said, just remember, you have power, impact, and influence now. People need to hear your message now. Take action and do whatever that means to you. Do it. You can and you should, and I'm here to help you along the way if you need a guide. Remember, it just takes one story. We'll catch you guys later.